Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports and another edition of my road to PvP and my equipment choices, and in this case, clothing choices for a 1,200 kilometer plus and a 750 mile plus event that I'll be doing a week from today. Today is Sunday, 13 August, and I launch out Sunday, the 20th of August at 7:45 p.m. So what I want to take you through is a couple of things. Now, for any time that you are doing any type of event where you might have a huge temperature change, where it's going to be cold or cool in the mornings, heating up throughout the day, and then once the sun sets, cool or cold throughout the night. Wool is your friend. We've gotten away from wool, unfortunately, because there's all these synthetics, there's all these ways to sublimate, put logos on them, put team sponsors, put all that stuff on there. But when you break it down to what is a wonder material, and let's leave things like Gore-Tex out of it, let's leave all these other things out of there. If you think about what is an exceptional, natural wonder material, it is wool. Wool keeps you cool when it's warm. It keeps you warm when it's cool, warmer when it's cold. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't retain it. It sheds it just naturally. It can't soak in. It gets on there. Once it saturates, and even before it saturates, it's running off of you. So it's good in the wind as well, because as that wind is blowing, you actually feel that cold breeze, but for some reason you still feel warm and you're able to breathe out your excess heat, so you're not sweating, which is a downside of let's say a water repellent product or waterproof product, like let's say Gore-Tex. No matter how much they say it breathes, it won't breathe as well as wool. It will protect you from just a downpour of water, which wool will not. You'll get wet with wool. However, you'll stay warmer. Let's just combine those two materials, wear that wool base layer or jersey or wool trainer, as we used to call them, and then put your waterproof product on top of that for rain. All right, so keeps you cool, keeps you warm, keeps you drier, and you can wear it for multiple days. Now, we've gotten away from that as well because we are such a throwaway, disposable society. We wear one item, we wash it immediately, but that's because it's synthetic and it stinks. It stinks really bad after even just a few hours, let alone a 4-day adventure like this. Your synthetics are going to stink really bad. But wool is just naturally antimicrobial, so it just doesn't stink. It packs well. Typically, a thin enough wool layer will reduce quite a bit, pack well, and it does provide a lot of comfort, creature comfort to you. So having led into this with that, unfortunately, it's very difficult to find 100% wool base layers and garments these days. I have a few. I've had them so long, I've crashed in some of them, so they've got holes on the sleeves from when I've gone down and all that stuff. Anyway, so what I did was I bought a couple of extras because You know, here in the Northern Hemisphere, it is summertime. So here's another pro tip. Buy your winter stuff in the summertime because, you know, it's usually on sale somewhere. And or once it starts getting cold and everyone else is trying to buy it, it's out of stock. Especially someone like me who wears a small or a medium, those sizes go first. The double XL and the double X small, they're usually there. All right. So this is a pearl. It's really nice the way they package these. So this is a Pearl Izumi, really thin base layer. It almost feels like a t-shirt. It's so thin, right? But because it is, let's see how much the percentage is, because they're not usually all that much, to be honest. Yeah, so 41% merino wool. So it's not 100%. The rest is polyester, but it still does the trick. It would be better if it was the other way around. Let's say 60 merino and 40 polyester. So I've got a short sleeve, and then I have a long sleeve. Now, these two are the thin ones. I've got a thermal one. Now, a lot of folks complained about the 2019 PBP where they were really cold at night. So I'm trying to get ahead of that. So this is a long sleeve one and still really thin, right? So something like this made out of wool, you could pretty much wear all day, all night. And then maybe throw a wind barrier, a rain barrier on top of, let's say, your jersey. Or in this case, we're also wearing a PBP vest, high-vis vest. So you got another layer there to contend with. And then, lastly, I've got what they call the thermal. So it's a lot thicker. This will probably stay packed. It probably won't even be used. I'm seeing temps in the 80-something range during the day out of Paris, heading west. And then I'm seeing low 60s towards Brest at night. So only about a 20 degree temperature swing. I wonder if what the dew point is, what the considerations for overnight humidity and moisture, because keep in mind, you feel a lot colder the longer you're in this endurance type of activity. So while you're looking at, let's say, the weather apps, and you're looking at the temperature and you're thinking, oh, 60s, that's nice. Your body 12, 24, 36 hours into these events, 60s no longer feels like 60s. It literally feels like 40s sometimes. So you have to pack more than you think you need. If you don't use it, great. But if you're freezing in a ditch somewhere at 3 a.m. and you're thinking, oh, I should have brought that extra long sleeve base layer. I mean, this thing doesn't weigh much and it doesn't take up that much space. But I was too much of a weight weenie. I was too much of a, oh, I've got too much stuff. I need to get rid of more stuff. And wean or reduce my options. And you're sitting there regretting that choice, then take it. Take it, and guess what? Someone else might need it as well. So who knows? Maybe you'll help someone who's just literally shivering in a ditch somewhere when you pull over and you're like, what's going on? And the person is just shattered. Maybe you take off your jacket, put that on them, put the base layer on yourself, and you can stay warm for a little bit, get that person on the bike and back rolling again. So I am trying to figure out all the things I'm going to take, what I'm not going to take, what space is available. Not worried about weight. The climbing is about 40,000 feet, but it doesn't come in steep grades, is what I understand. I was watching someone else's video who did it on a fixed gear, and I've done a lot of ultras in fixed gear, right? With a fixed gear. I've done 200 milers and more, and then I did a 500 miler with 35,000 feet, but those grades were significantly steeper than what this gentleman said. This gentleman said it's 4 to 6%, 4 to 7% most of the route. So weight isn't that important. So you just got to take all the things that you think you're going to need and try not to go without. If you can buy something along the way, that's probably even better. But from what I understand, there's just not a lot of stores on the route. This is my first time doing PvP. I will definitely know a lot more in the future. But from this point, or from this vantage point of someone never doing this before and knowing how cold I can be, even though everyone else in my crew is down to a t-shirt. And I've got multiple layers on 30 plus hours into one of my 500 milers. I know that your thermal regulation system is completely jacked up. And so please take my advice, pack something extra. If you don't use it, that's okay. But if you need it, I hope that you'll think of me and say, you know what, I'm glad I packed this one extra layer. Okay, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe. I've purchased all these things, my own funds. No employee purchase discounts, no promotion of any type, no sponsorship gig. Hey, do a review for us and we'll give you this product. None of that. But any of these items, you're free to purchase from me and support the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.